are having an awakening experience, and it's not in the religious sense. It's really, what did Jesus say? And we can't even, I mean, I think the Gospel of Thomas is probably a closer, like more authentic, because it hasn't gone through thousands of years of reinterpretation, re-edits, and different publishers, et cetera, et cetera. This was buried until the Nag Hammadi documents, the Nag Hammadi uh, uh, finding in 1945 in Egypt. This is where the gospel came of Thomas came from, and many, many other gospels which were hidden uh, when in the first and second century, when it was you got a death sentence if you were found with this material. It was they put you to death. They put you in the arena with the gladiators and the lions. So anyway, here we are. Welcome everyone to maybe our last one. And if you look at your email that went out uh, announcing this class today, there's a link for the Tuesday class, which is this is really this is another book. This is Angelo DeLullo. It's really great. Many of you are here that are also in this class. Susan started it 3 or 4 months ago, and I picked it up a, a few weeks ago, 3 weeks ago. We're on chapter 14. I think it's just so rich with content. It would be worth your while because this is talking more about awakening, inquiry. It's right now we're on the subject of emotions and then post awakening. And Angelo is a master. He's an MD. I met him. He's in our Awakening Mind films, and he's super sharp guy. Really unpacks awakening from a neurological, medical, physical, and then spiritual way of looking at it. So he's really clear in this book called Awake, It's Your Turn. So if you want to join us next week on Tuesday, you're welcome to do that. The link is in the notification that went out, and we'll put it in the chat here today for you, just so you have it. You can save it if you want to join us. It's at 4 p.m. on Tuesdays. Okay, so let's look at 106. And if anyone wants to read 106, just put your hand up, please, and you can read that. You can start us off if you want. Uh, or I'll start us off. It's all good. Jesus said, "When you make the two one, you will become the sons of man. And when you say, mountain, move away, it will move away." And Cameron says in the italicized, when the distinction between subject and object vanishes, we see that all is one. Me as you, you as me, all separation dissolves, and this conscious, loving presence is all that remains. Then we are sons of man, and the mountain in in and the mountain to be moved. Then we are the sons of man, and the mountain to be moved has no more substance than a thought. Yeah, this is of course this is mixed with something that is actually in the gospel, in the earlier parts of the gospel according to Thomas, where the two are one. And then this idea, remember in the New Testament, Jesus is There was a saying that's in one of the Gospels that says, with the faith of a mustard seed, one can say, "Move ye this mountain into the sea, and it will be so." This is kind of like that, and I was always curious about that statement in the New Testament. Wow, with the faith of a mustard seed, I can say, "Move this big ass mountain into the sea, and it'll be so." That was always puzzling me. It really was. I was thinking, faith of a mustard seed, say move this mountain. That's pretty crazy. Mountains are big ass things. So, and I interviewed a Swami, Muktananda, last year in Rishikesh, India, and he gave the best explanation for that statement, move this mountain into the sea. And he said that in a very mystical experience that he had at the ashram there in Rishikesh, the Shivananda ashram, he he saw what the real meaning of that statement is. The mountain is really a metaphysical statement that is pointing to the layers and layers of conditional beliefs and identification and all of the things that identify the true nature, the true self as the body mind. That's a mountain of beliefs and identity that is completely false to the identification of the I am, of the true being that one is. And so when one has the understanding of the true nature of ourself, a realized being, one is able to simply dissolve that mountain of conditioned beliefs and identity. Move ye into the sea. One moves back into the ocean of consciousness. And all of those layers and conditions and identifications, they're gone. They dissolve into the nothingness from which they rise. And that's a really that's a sensible way of seeing what's meant by move this mountain. And when I see this first statement that this 106 says, when you make the two one, you will become the sons of man. Again, when the two become one understands your true nature, and moving this mountain, move away, it just means that your old structure, your old identification, it just dissolves in the understanding of beingness. That's pretty much what I get out of this, and I'm totally open to any other comments or anything that you would like to add. And it's good. This is good stuff. It's some of the statements that are in the Gospel of Thomas are, as you know, they're cryptic. We keep running up against that because I think it's a little bit unfinished. I think they're just, it'd be like somebody taking scratch notes and maybe 5 or 10 people there taking scratch notes while somebody's talking. Everybody's notes are going to look different. And I think the gospel, according to, some of these messages that got that were hidden in the scrolls, that were these clay where they were found. There were two places they were found. First, they were found in the Dead Sea Scrolls, many of the old texts. And then later on, there was another group of archaeology that found them in the Nag Hammadi Library. And if you look at the Nag Hammadi Library. That book's about, I would say, 2 inches thick. It's filled with old sayings from the Gnostics in the days that followed Jesus, closer to the first and second century. So anyway, that's 106, and we'll move on to 107 and invite anyone that would like to read 107 to please raise your hand and come on down. Okay. Hi, Joseph. Welcome. Good to see you.
There we go. Hi.
Hey, welcome.
107. Jesus said, "The kingdom is like a shepherd who had 100 sheep. One of them, the largest, went astray. He left the 99 sheep and looked for that one until he found it. When he had gone to such trouble, he said to the sheep, 'I care for you more than the 99.'" The comment is, consciousness is not divisible. Its value is not in numbers. In truth, I am more than my brother's keeper. I am my brother. When any of us are lost, I am lost. We seek the lost sheep because we seek to be returned to our pristine state as one. That's a good one.
Yeah, it's really good, Joseph. And Cameron was he came in when we first started this study. He's a super rich guy, and as far he's very articulate, and he loves the teachings of Jesus and also the non-dual. And when he when he makes these statements, this is his this is what's coming out of his understanding and his direct experience. And as we've gone through this series of sayings, everyone has rich insight that comes with us, that we've heard right here from many right here that have seen. You can see things just maybe a little bit that are also little hidden gems that are revealed. And this is a great text that I think is very helpful in talking about there's many statements that are made that are talking about the kingdom of heaven. The kingdom is like a shepherd who had 100 sheep. And then in my, I could come up with some other nuances that I see in this text. But I think what Cameron ended up with is beautiful and perfect.
I do too. When I read it, I just thought of compassion, our natural state of compassion when we really are there present with other people. We just compassion just comes up on us, and we really do see that other person as ourselves. That's kind of what I saw when I was reading it.
Yeah. Well, it goes, it's even, it could be deeper than that, because sometimes it's, because when I see you in that bodysuit that has the name Joseph McTurk, when I don't see myself as Joseph McTurk with hair. I see myself as the consciousness, the awareness, the essence from which Joseph arises, and what breathes Joseph. And you could say that about any character that's on the screen, that you are the essence from, and also the character, because as the essence, that character is also not separate from what you realize to be yourself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, awesome. Well, thank you, Joseph, for that. And we'll move to 108. And I'd love to have someone read 108 for us. I know there's only 26 of us. Who wants to read this next one? Barbara, thank you. Hi, Barbara.
Good morning, Bill. Good morning, everybody. Thanks again, Bill, for doing this. As always, it's wonderful.
Thank you.
Okay, so Jesus said, "He who will drink from my mouth will become like me. I myself shall become he, and the things that are hidden will be revealed to him." Cameron says, "To drink from Jesus' mouth is to be open to his teaching, to listen to his words, and to allow them to be fully absorbed. This gives rise to understanding which cannot be lost, and which transforms us, causing us to become like him. In this openness to the possibility of consciousness being universal, impersonal, the universe becomes magical, revealing to us our intimate interconnectedness with all things." That's beautiful, right? I love that.
Yes. Yes.
I think, it's so beautiful because as you, I guess, go deeper understand, I don't know what it is. I can't explain it. But I was having a conversation the other day with a girl and with, of course, the Americans, the Trump thing. Ay, ay, ay. And so I said to her, I just said, that Trump to you, I get it. It's a person to you with a personality. But actually, if you look at it, it's the reflection of society today as a whole. And so I think I said to her, it doesn't matter who it is, it creates.
I'm not hearing you, Barbara.
I said, there is, to me, I just don't see the us and them in it. It's going to be what it's going to be. And in my moment here, right now, in this precious presence, I'm okay. Everything's perfect. And yeah, things can change. And when they change, which I cannot read the future, then I guess I'll be given the strength and the sight to see through that when that comes. It's like not to put the thumb screws to me before the actual event. So it's kind of, and this is what this is saying, is once you understand, it is true. Once you understand, you just see life, and life is, it's just, wow. Life itself is the most amazing thing. I mean, to think you, me, all of us are here in this moment, in this lifetime, together, right now, out of all odds in the world. I love it. It's just, that's life working. That's life expressing and moving. It's perfect. Okay, that's all I got to say. I'm in love with life.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. I'm with you. I want what she's drinking. I want what he's drinking. Yeah, it's awesome. Thank you for that. Okay, who would like to read 109? We'll move to 109. Looks like we probably will finish this book if we keep going like this. "109. Hi, Melanie.
Hi.
Welcome.
Hi. All right. 109. Jesus said, "The kingdom is like a man who had a hidden treasure in his field without knowing it. And after he died, he left it to his son. The son did not know about the treasure. He inherited the field and sold it. And the one who bought it went plowing and found the treasure. He began to lend money at interest to whomever he wished." And Cameron says, "Ignorance of our true nature, of the treasure hidden in plain sight, is ingrained in our societies, built into the very fabric of our cultures. Each generation born in innocence is unwittingly educated in untruth from birth. Yet through grace, some are shown reality. From them, the truth shines out, touching all around them. That's beautiful. I didn't get how to lend money at interest. I mean, you seem to mention at interest. That was always
Right. Yeah, that didn't come to me at first either, Mel, but it came to me all of a sudden. This is just one possibility where it says, and the one who bought, let me start over. The son did not know about the treasure. He inherited the field and sold it. And the one who bought it went plowing and found the treasure. He began to lend money at interest to whomever he wished. And what I saw in that is the one who bought it is open to finding the kingdom, and sharing it is lending it. Sharing it will receive more of it. So by sharing it, you receive more of it like you would interest on your money.
gotcha. It's
Yeah.
kind of like the story where he talked about he lent like 10 pence to one person and 5 and 1, and the one that made the most he gave more to. So it's like you're using your talents, you're expanding your treasure.
Yeah. Yeah.
So by,
Well, it just giving it away, it's like love.
yeah,
The more you give, the more you have.
you get, yeah.
Yeah. So it's just like that. So yeah, I didn't get it at first, but I think that's something that is reasonable in the interpretation to me. But this is also like the one that says the kingdom of heaven, where shall I find, or you know, remember when they said to Jesus in the Gospels, Master, how can I find the kingdom of heaven? He said, the kingdom of heaven is like a rich man who has buried treasure on his land, or no,
Pearl.
it's like the field where one buries treasure on the field. And when one finds that treasure, they sell everything that they have so that they can buy that field with the treasure on it. So it's like giving up, it's like letting go of all of your worldly attachments so that you can know the self.
Mm.
And then you go back and plow your field. Awake. It's
Yeah.
kind of like what happens in the awakening experience. And this is why I love these book studies. This is why I love books like Angelo's book and Rupert's and all the great teachings that are so available at Mananda, Francis Lucille, because the world is waking up right now. The world is waking up everywhere. And these things are becoming more and more better known. And the things that were only known by sages, people like Krishnamurti or Nisargadatta or Osho or these guys. We all know these things, and they're right here in our understanding, waiting to be awakened and lived. Well, thank you, Mel.
You.
Okay, let's move to 110. Who would read 110, please? Carol. Hi, Carol. Welcome.
Okay, am I unmuted? Yes.
Yes, you are.
Jesus said, whoever finds the world and becomes rich, let him renounce the world. Cameron says, to become rich is to have the opportunity to discover the empty promise of wealth. Having fully seen the futility of this enterprise, we look elsewhere for salvation, ultimately turning inward to investigate the true nature of our being. And for me, it means to find the world and become rich, or to attain whatever I think is going to make me happy forever. I've arrived, all my goals, whatever I think is going to be what I want. And only then is it given up, is the realization there that, well, this isn't, something's wrong still, something's missing. That it takes all of that to realize there's nothing left. There must be some other way. There must be something else going on that isn't in the doing and the achieving and the attaining, because I know I'm not myself. Like, I know I'm not, something isn't right.
Yeah. Yeah. Everyone is, everyone's chasing for their true nature, and it's right here.
Yeah.
The witness of the experience of life. And what I see in this first sentence that's offered, Jesus said, "Whoever finds the world and becomes rich." I take that as becomes infatuated with the world. Let him or her renounce the world means let him or her become unattached. And it's in that unattachment that one recognizes their true nature. It's that I had this conversation with Lisa this morning at breakfast. We were talking about the use of the term letting go of something. I let that go. Oh, I let that go. Well, you don't really let anything go. And I think renouncing the world is even closer to what letting go means. Letting go is like the first rung on the ladder when you're thinking about spiritual things. I need to let go of judgment. I need to let go of doing. I need to let go of this or that. Those are the bottom rung ideas.
Yes.
Go
It's
ahead.
like, let him renounce the world. And, well, there's not a him to do anything really. It just sort of happens or it doesn't happen.
Yeah.
And it's like, in the page before, where Cameron is saying each generation is born in innocence, is unwittingly educated in untruth from birth, yet through grace, and I had circled, some are shown reality. And yes, and that's the whole thing. Just stuff plays out. It's like a big mix of all potential possibilities happening, and it does or it doesn't. In every moment, whatever is happening, and there doesn't seem to be any need to do anything about it, because even that happens. The desire to do something about something, or maybe the apathy not to do it, just seems to, something happens, but there doesn't seem to be anything that's actually there doing it or actually here doing it.
Well, the effort of trying actually is an obstacle.
Yeah, and yet trying happens. It's just there's not a trying person. It's still a happening, like the experience of what trying is. And when it's taken apart, it's not even like there's not a thing responsible for it that's known.
It's a total paradox, I know.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. Thank you, Carol.
Thank you.
All right, let's look at 111. Jesus said, "The heavens and the earth will be rolled up in your presence, and the one who lives from the living one will not see death." Does not Jesus say, "Whoever finds himself is superior to the world"? And Cameron said, the universe, time and space exist only within the greater reality we call God, who is beyond time and all other limitations, since our true nature is not other than that. We too are timeless, knowing neither birth nor death. Yeah, I thought, I mean, when I first read the first sentence, "the heavens and earth will be rolled up in your presence," I'm seeing that as duality is seen as one. Object, subject, object is seen as one thing. It gets rolled up into presence. And then the last sentence of that first part, does not Jesus say, "Whoever finds himself or herself is superior to the world"? He's kind of like saying, have I not said, have I not said, when one finds himself is superior? I think that just means when this occurs, this one will rise above the physical experience, will know itself as infinite. So anyway, Barbara, what would you say to that?
This is exactly what I was saying. And it says, the one who lives from the living one will not see death. So when one lives from life itself, every day is so present. It's just there's nothing to rely on. You don't rely on anything. The other thing too, when you guys were talking about, the world and renouncing, I think it's more you just lose interest. I think it's just losing interest.
Right.
I don't think it's a big thing about it. I just
Right.
think you go along and one day you find you have no interest in it.
Right.
And there you go. You're done.
Yeah,
Okay.
I agree. Yeah.
So, but yeah, I like this, where he says superior to the world. I agree with you. I think it's just a matter that all he's saying is that will become who you are. And so it's not so much superior as you know who you are. And that's it. You'll know
And
your true nature
you're not
and nothing
this.
in that. Yeah, there's no interest in anything else. It's not that you can't involve yourself in it. You can, you just don't have the interest anymore of the it's not even an attachment to it anymore. It's like when you leave drugs and you actually get clean, right? You just don't, you've lost interest. It's not like you left drugs. You've lost interest in your style of life. And I think that's all they're saying. And I think that's very true. you know, and yeah, and I think, like I say, for the universe, of course, you would feel no birth, no death, because knowing neither of them, because really, I mean, I'm too young to remember. I was too young back then to remember if I was born. I had to be told. I don't remember the date.
Yeah, I think that's
Joke,
most of
but
it.
yeah. And I don't think anybody's going to stick around and tell me the day I'm dying. So I guess
Right.
you don't experience either side.
Right.
So no, other than that, yeah, I think it's just life itself. When you're fully engaged in that life of true nature and essence,
Mhm.
it's of no interest. You just lose your interest, and your interest in other things.
Yeah. I love this statement that's a very, I mean, it's a deep statement that says, and the one who lives from the living one will not see death. Because when you know your nature, when you know your true being is awareness, and that you're not the body, you also recognize simply by self-inquiry, simply by a couple of those great inquiry questions. Does this awareness have an age? Check in, no age. Does it have a gender? Check in, no gender. Well, you have just identified that you're not the body. And without age, you've identified that you are infinite awareness that doesn't die. It no longer sees death. It's amazing what the truth of that statement is, and that it can be verified. I love that. Thank you, Barbara. And let's see, let's move to 112. Who would please read this? This is a woe to one. Woe unto you. Only a couple more, three more. All right. Jesus said, woe to the flesh that depends on the soul. Woe to the soul that depends on the flesh. The body that identifies with mind, this is Cameron, the body that identifies with mind and the mind that identifies with body are both pursuing false beliefs, which do not lead to happiness. Instead, let us look to what is real, to what our real identity is. And this is, this is picking up on what is our real identity. We just talked about it. We just verified it. Everyone just checks in, verifies. What is it that's aware of this experience? Awareness itself that never dies, that is here as the witness of the body mind. And in this first couple sentences, when Jesus said, woe to the flesh that depends on the soul, I see that a little different, where it says, I'm seeing woe as the word notice. Woe means notice. Notice the flesh, the personal self-identity that actually realizes, or it is interested in or curious about the self. Notice that. And woe to the soul that depends on the flesh. So notice the self as it identifies as the person. Notice that. Those are the two things I think Jesus is saying, is when he was talking to his disciples. Notice this, you guys. Pay attention here. Notice when the self as it identifies. Notice the that because he's already probably brought them through some meditation experiences, some real good, solid pointing. And he's saying, hey, you guys, notice the self as your true nature as it's identifying as the flesh. Just be aware of that. That's a simple teaching that he was offering, helping them to recognize that they are not the body mind. They are that which is aware of all experience. Simple as that. That's what the simplicity of his teaching. I mean, I know that, somehow we were there with him, but wouldn't it be cool to just sit with in his circle for a month? Oh my God. And some of those caves, that would be so cool. Okay. So that was 112. If there's no comments on that, we'll move to 113 and we will wrap up this book that we're on. Who would like to read 113, please? Anyone? Is that you, Carol, that's going to read for us? Okay. Thank you.
Okay. 113. His disciples said to him, "When will the kingdom come?" Jesus said, "It will not come by waiting for it. It will be a matter of saying, 'Here it is,' or 'There it is.' Rather, the kingdom of the Father is spread out upon the earth, and men do not see it." And Cameron says, "To wait for the kingdom is to place it in the future, always out of reach. In this way, we abdicate responsibility for being present to it now. By remaining in not knowing, open to this possibility. Then through grace, we come to experience the kingdom spread out upon the earth in each and every moment." And it's all here now. Not even with just correct perception, because even incorrect perception lights up correct perception after a while. It's a done deal. Yet there's the experience of time, which changes the experience of a done deal.
We can live, we actually have access to both worlds. We have access to that which is infinite, and with understanding and knowing our being, just as it says in this first paragraph, the kingdom of the Father, the kingdom of presence, the kingdom of consciousness is spread throughout everything, all all things, sentient and insentient. It's spread out through all of consciousness. The kingdom of it's in all things, and its presence is in plain sight. and it's this, in this time of realizing we are that which is infinite, and we are the witness of the body-mind experience where we find inner peace and well-being. So as beingness, we really get to have this physical experience and knowing that we're not of this world, knowing that we are this, and yet infinitely we are the witness as awareness. It's amazing. It's really so great.
Oh, so beautifully put. It's like when you said that, it really is everything and nothing. It's being and experiencing and awareing of it all. It is like, it is all that is.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah, awareing of it all. That was that's a new word. I like it. Good one. Uh, all right. William, good to see you.
Yeah, it's often can't make it. I just love the energy of this whole space. But I was looking at this and I had this image of my left and my right hand. I always reach out with my right hand. I always, it's automatic. And it's like my right hand is my physical image, and the left hand is that space. But then I realized, wait a minute, I'm making up a physical metaphor. It's like I'm still in the right hand, so to speak. This space is not visible. And it's me, it's that not trusting what I see with my physical eyes. It's not trusting what I'm seeing. I constantly feel and trust whatever that right hand of my so-called reality that I've learned. And so it really is seeing what I can't see, hearing what I can't see, but knowing it, knowing it, knowing it. And so in that sense, I feel the awareness. And the best way I notice that is that when I just am silent and I'm just being, I don't know what to do, what to say. Doesn't matter. I'm just being. So I just see how easy it is. Even my metaphors take me right back into what I've been, that separate, whatever, Bill, William. So I think when not relying on seeing something, but it's that knowing and seeing what I can't see. So that's just what.
Yeah, that's beautiful, William. I totally get that. And it is the silence. I was on a call with the film production team last night. We were talking about some interviews we're planning for the Ramana Maharshi uh, documentary that we're working on. And we're talking about to this interview in UK, and Ramana's teaching, his highest teaching is silence. Ramana's highest teaching is said to from him and from his disciples, and what was left in his leg in what he pointed to. The highest teaching from Ramana is silence, just as you just said. Words dilute our true nature. Words dilute and that would include thoughts, any physical identification. When words come out of the mouth, there's a dilution. It's in the silence and Rupert Spira has said that the highest form of teaching is to say nothing. Yeah, awesome. Good to see you. Thank you, William, for that.
Thank you.
Okay, last one. Who would like to read the last one?
I'll read it.
Last saying. Sylvia,
Yeah.
is
I'll
that
read it.
you?
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Simon Peter said to him, "Let Mary leave us, for women are not worthy of life." Jesus said, "I myself shall lead her in order to make her male, so that she too may become a living spirit resembling you males. For every woman who will make herself male will enter the kingdom of heaven." Jesus finds a way to introduce equality in a male-dominated society. I don't think he did. I don't think he does in this one. But I mean, I'm okay. In the realm of freedom and truth, Jesus creates a way whereby following him, all are to be considered equal, both male and female, and all are to receive the same opportunity for happiness. So when I read this, it really did upset me. And I really don't agree with Cameron's interpretation where it says that Jesus finds a way. I don't like the way he explained it either. I mean, he said, so that the two may become a living spirit resembling you males. I mean, so anyway, I have a
Well,
friend who also, she said, "I don't get this. I don't understand it."
well,
But
Sylvia, I'm happy to have you say, ah, wait a minute. Something's off here. I think there are many passages that Cameron has, they're his the insight that can be, have different interpretations, like I mentioned a while ago. And I also think Simon Peter is off. I think he's off. My thought is Simon Peter said to him, "Let Mary leave us, for women are not worthy of life." I just don't think he understands the teaching. That's what I'm getting from that statement.
yeah, yeah.
And yet when I read Cameron's statement, I think he is kind of talking about.
Really?
I think the next paragraph that says, Jesus said, "I myself shall lead her in order to make her male." I think he was uh, having a private conversation with Mary to help her recognize she's not a body. She's not a male
Oh,
or a
okay.
female, but she's not a body. So I think the teaching is a little bit cryptic
Mhm.
in what it's pointing to. But then in the next line where it says, um, let's see, where it says, so that she may become a living spirit resembling you males, for every woman who will make herself male will enter the kingdom of heaven. And I think this teaching is, I think he's pointing to recognizing anyone that will recognize that they're not a gender will enter the understanding of
Mhm.
oneness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think you have to go deeper in it. And I'm
Mhm.
interested to hear before we go, we have 5 minutes, but I'm interested to hear what Barbara and William both have to say on this. Thank you, Sylvia. And thanks for your little bit of pushback on that, because I think that's healthy. Barbara?
Hi.
Hey.
I really think this is beautiful because this is the reach, right? I love reaches. And they just, it's like a seed. It has to be cracked before it can open. I love that resistance. Anyways, I just think it's not just like I think we stay safely on the subject of no gender. In our true nature, if we sit for 1 minute quietly, like you say, in silence, and you close your eyes, tell me what your gender feels like. Tell me what your skin color feels like. Tell me what these things feel like to you, because they don't exist. And you will find that out when you close your eyes and don't look at the world. And all of a sudden there's this beautiful space just for you to emerge from. just for you. And I think that's so beautiful. And that's what they're saying is it's not about becoming male or female or anything. There's no gender, there's no color, there's no equality. Why would there be equality? There's no people. It doesn't matter. I'm in a male-based, all my life, based careers. And I never see it that way. I've had people say, well, you're the only female, so I'm working in that division. It's not who or what I am doing it. It's just being done. It's of no relevance to me. I don't have anything to prove to anybody. Why? Because I'm not an anybody. I think when we begin to understand that true nature of who we are, that space within us, and we can go there, as Bill said, in that silence, just for 3 seconds in that silence, it's the space you're in, that's what you are. That's what you truly are. And yeah, the rest can be, and I went through the 70s fighting for women's rights and that. Doesn't matter to me anymore. The true is to love myself, not the body, and to love this life as it just unfolds around us in all sectors, in all colors, in all genders, in all everything. It's quite remarkable. Because what did they say? Everybody's got to do what they got to do to get where they got to go.
Good one. All right. Well, we'll end with William. Hey, William.
Well, I think what I hear too. It's just that's the words. I don't see them meaning what we typically mean by male, female, gender. So I just see that living spirit. He's just almost saying, "I'll lead her to the absence of whatever that conversation is about male." It's just a word that the language takes us right back into our separate ego self. And I just see him, hey, that whole conversation, I just lead you out of it. Whatever you thought males are, it's far beyond that. I'll take you there.
Yeah. Good. Yeah. I like both points. This is why the conversation about the teaching is open for just, not just clarity, but just an understanding of, and they aren't just words. They're words pointing to the true nature. And when it comes to gender identification, of course, you may go back even to the energy that the genders come from, which is the Shakti and the Shiva teachings of energetically, there's masculine and feminine energies that are referred to as Shakti and Shiva that also influence the body-mind experience. And we're none of those things. We're not even the energy of the masculine and the feminine. We're not even the energy of the Shakti and the Shiva, because we are the formless presence that is always, that's infinite, eternal, and always is, without a description or a label.
The two words that stand out are freedom and truth. So even the first statement, let Mary leave us, for women are not worthy. You just say, let any identity leave us, whether it's man, woman.
Yeah.
Just let go. Those words, but that it's the spirit and the truth in the stillness, the freedom, the truth. Anyway, yeah. Everyone said it already.
All right, that was awesome. Thank you all. We are finished with this book. Thanks for being with us for 3.5 months, looking at this little, not a very thick book together. And as I said, you're all welcome to join us to finish this book on Tuesdays at 4 p.m. Eastern. There's a link in the email that was sent to you that brought you here, and there's a link in the chat if you want to grab it before we leave. And I'll see you guys out there. or Tuesday, or and we have a meeting, a town hall meeting on Saturday, if you care to come at the in the gathering, and I think that's at 11 o'clock, and I'll see you guys there. Bye, everyone.